Hey Tim, with the Tim T Showcase. I am here with my friend Art Clemens. He's going to be telling us a little bit about some of his observations of what's going on right here, John. It's something that's going on that's really serious here in St. Louis, in all areas actually. But there's always somebody that's willing to stand up and just be truthful. Not to start anything, but just be truthful. That's all he's asking. So anyway, I'm going to introduce you to Mr. Clemens, and he's going to be telling you he's a candidate for the president of Local 1 Service Employees International Union. So how about you tell the viewers about what's going on, Clemens?
Well, I've been working at Busch Stadium for a contractor, but not directly for the Cardinals for over 10 years. And while working at that job, I have been a member of Local 1 of the Service Employees International Union. I'm also a published writer and have written a book entitled Revelations of the Great Spirit, which was published in 2012. There's quite a bit of information in the book about the labor movement, which I'm very strongly believe in.
Okay, well, I understand you ran for the president of Local 26. I understand that you ran for your local union, and that was in 2016. Can you tell the viewers about what you ran for?
Okay, first of all, let me tell you a little bit about the Local 1. Local 1 of the Service Employees International Union has approximately 47,000 members spread out over 6 states: Missouri, Illinois, Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, and Wisconsin. The headquarters is in Chicago. There is a membership meeting held once every 3 months in 11 different locations, so that a rank and file member speaking out in one location cannot be heard in the other 10 locations. A large percentage of the local work as janitors or event workers like myself, or healthcare workers. Most of the members are paid low wages, but they would probably be paid even lower wages if they did not belong to a union. I ran for president in 2000. Started running for president in 2016 because in 2016 my dues and the dues of those I work with were raised by $5 a month after holding steady for several years, and then by another $5 a month in 2017. Plus, the company I work for brought in scabs to take part of my work away from me in 2016, and my union representative told them it was okay to do that. He also invited me to march in demonstrations for $15 an hour as part of the $15 movement, but then let scabs take work away from me that would have paid me $18 an hour for overtime. These things got me so upset that I drew up a petition to support me for president of the local, and many of the people I work with signed it. I later got some other signatures from people in other locations besides where I work. I knew I had no chance to win, but I also knew that the election process was crooked, and it was my hope to change it.
Okay, so that's one of the reasons why you decided to run for president.
Right.
To clean up this mess.
Right.
Just have things on an honest level, where everybody has a fair chance, pay fair, be fair, right?
Right, and it's illegal to raise somebody's dues without an election to vote for the union members to vote to have their dues raised. And I've talked to people from other unions around St. Louis, and they're getting their dues raised, and they're not having elections either.
Right. So tell me this here. What else about the union that you think is not on the level? I'll just say not on the level. I'm not going to say that I don't have that.
Let me explain the election rules to you. To get on the ballot, you have to have over 800 signatures in order to qualify, and that gets you on the ballot. If you, by some miracle, that you were actually to get 800 signatures, which I had no chance to get because I can't even find 800 members to ask them to sign it, because they will not let you have a list of the membership. It can't be done.
Right.
And on top of that, there's a federal law that says that a candidate is allowed to see a list of the members and their addresses one time under the supervision of a union official within 30 days of the election, provided that you qualify to get on the ballot. Then when you see the list, it only has the members and their addresses with no phone numbers and no email addresses. And you can't make a copy of it, so there's no way. You have to memorize 47,000 names in an hour.
That's not going to happen. Yeah.
Right.
But that's not going to happen.
Now the next thing that's crooked about this union is the way they spend their money. Now here I have this is what LM2 report looks like. These reports are the local has to file these with the Department of Labor once every year. And I have gone through this. It's about 60 pages long. I've gone through this and looked at all the things that they spend their money on. And here's a few of the things I found. In 2015, they spent $7,450 on plane trips to Europe with Swiss Airlines. Now, what business the union has, what good that does to dues payers is beyond me. Okay, the next thing is they spent about $140,000 in 2015 and 2016 to pay consulting firms to consult about an office move that was never made. And here's another item. Southwest Airlines, they paid $330,000 in 2015, 16, and 17. That's total for the 3 years.
Right.
And where they're flying, I don't know, because the local is not. I mean, there's no places to fly that far.
Yeah.
Inside the local. Inside the local, there's no place to fly that far.
Right.
They spent about $20,000 a year on a golf tournament in Chicago that members in the whole rest of the 6 states are not invited to. And it's only the big shots of the union go to it. And
but yet it's off of your off of your dues.
It's out of the dues. Yeah, that's exactly right. So when I read this, and this list goes on, and it amounts to millions of dollars. And this money could be used for pensions and health care benefits for the members instead of in the pockets of the people running the union. And their salaries are astronomical, and they get higher every year. Anyway, I could see from reading this report that I could run the local better than they do. And that's why I filed a lawsuit in federal court. It's in the Eastern District Court of Missouri. Judge Ronnie L. White is the judge for the case. I'm trying to get the local thrown into trusteeship, which means that a trustee takes over and throws out the people running it and runs it until we have an election. And so far, I have been handling this myself, and the local leadership. I sued the president, the secretary treasurer, and the vice president here in St. Louis. 3 of them. I probably should have sued them all. But there's 12 vice presidents. They make over 100,000 apiece. And anyway, they have an attorney, a law firm here in town. It's called Schucat, Cook and Werner. And I just got the 2017 LM2 report, like this here. And according to the report, which they have to declare where they're spending their money, they spent over $100,000 in dues payers' money defending the lawsuit against me. And I'm trying to help out the dues payers, and they're using the dues payers' money to hire an attorney to stop me from helping the dues payers.
Oh yeah.
So anyway.
So tell me some of the things you would do would be different. I mean, you just kind of explained what you would do to make it different, like put trustees in and changing up and getting rid of some of the old heads, put in some new people that would be a little bit more on the level with everything. What else would you do?
Well, one thing, you and I sing karaoke a lot.
Love it.
You know the power of music.
Mm-hmm.
The power of music is way underestimated.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for instance, Willie Nelson, he has Farm Aid, right?
Yeah.
He helps out farmers with the money they raise.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think our union should have some kind of benefit like that and help out the union members. That way we could cut the dues down to almost nothing if we raise enough money, and have plenty of money for pensions and health care benefits for everybody. That's one important thing that I would do. And anyway, I would definitely cut the payroll in half, get rid of at least half of the people on the payroll.
Too much fat.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't do anything.
Right.
See, the rank and file workers are out there working hard every day. They don't even have time to blow their nose, and they don't pay much attention to union affairs.
Right.
And they pay a lot of dues, and it's going to support a lavish lifestyle of people that never do any work at all.
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
So, how this lawsuit is going to come out, I don't know, but
okay. Well, it might be connected between you and the lawsuit and the assassination of Martin Luther King. That's kind of what brought that on.
Well, let me
change in the ways that things were with the trash issue. That's what caused all that down in Memphis.
Right. The AFSCME Local 1733 is what King was trying to help out when he was assassinated in 1969.
Right.
But the law I'm telling you about that restricts the list of the membership so to rig the elections, that was passed in 1959.
Right.
It's been on the books ever since 1959. And at that time, there were a lot of other laws on the books around the country, like poll tax laws, literacy test laws, and these laws were designed to rig elections, and mostly to keep black people from voting. So now, racism has been reduced, but the class system
That can
is
be debated.
well, maybe so,
Yeah.
but legally it's been reduced. The laws are not so as bad as they were. And anyway, now the laws are more to keep all the poor people down, no matter what
That's
color
right.
they are.
Yeah. So it's kind of turned into a high class, either high class or no class. There's no middle class anymore.
Right. Yeah, they're beating down the middle class.
Right.
Anyway, Dr. King might have known about this law because he was there trying to help the people in the sanitation workers for the union, and which is basically the same kind of work that I do. And he made a famous speech known as the street sweeper speech in April 9th, 1967 at the New Covenant Baptist Church in Chicago. And he talks about, the importance of doing your job well and other things, and how people should be concerned about all of humanity instead of just themselves.
Right.
It was a great speech. It can be heard on YouTube.
Yeah, I wish I knew that.
Anyway, the street sweeper speech kind of hints that maybe he does know something about the way that the elections are rigged for the union. You have to read between the lines. There's no way that you can know what he was thinking at the time he died. But still, I'm sure if he became aware of this kind of a law on the books, he would be against it, and he would expose it so everybody would know about it. Now me, I know about it. I'm against it, but exposing it is another story.
Yeah. And getting people to understand it, because people nowadays, I call it brainwashing. So many people are brainwashed to believe what I say, not what you see.
Right,
It's a strong
exactly.
statement, you know. Believe what I say and not what you see. I can tell you the sky is green, but you know it's blue. But I'm going to tell you that it's green, and you're going to believe it eventually. Why? Brainwash. You know, I mean, what you're doing is a good thing, man. You have to stand up. You got to believe in yourself and believe in your company and what you do. And sometimes that takes making waves. I mean, it's not a good thing. You know what I mean? Actually, sometimes it can actually be dangerous. It's. I have to say, I have to take hats off to you, man, for standing up and trying to talk and speak for your workers. You know.
Well, I'm doing my best, and I just hope that we can prevail. It's not gonna be easy.
Right. Any battle worth fighting is always going to be hard. I'll tell you that. It's an easy battle, and what you get into is hard. All right. So I'm talking to Mr. Art Clemens here. Mr. Art Clemens is running for your local
one of the Service Employees International Union.
That's right. And you'll be seeing this on YouTube. You'll see it on my channel. And so what you want to do there is look him up on the internet. Are you on the internet, or are you on Facebook, or are you on YouTube?
Well, my phone number is 314-262-5438. So anybody wants to call me and ask me about this, that's fine with me. As far as my email address, it's lawscan2001@yahoo.com.
Tell them again.
lawscan2001@yahoo.com. And I also have a YouTube channel, and you can hear me sing karaoke on there.
Oh, God.
It's Arthur Clemens on YouTube.
Yeah.
And there's about 6 Arthur Clemenses on there, so you have to get the one with it's usually right at the top.
So just got to remember Arthur Clemens. I think they're alphabetical order, so we'll start with Art. So you would go there if you want to get your laugh on about that. But folks, a very serious note though. He's trying to do the right thing. He needs your support. He really does. He needs your support in order to bring this out. He's not trying to make waves with the unions or anything like that. He's obviously a union man, but he wanted to be a straight and honest, where everybody is, where I pay dues, then I should be able to go to them and talk to them and get some kind of result. Not have my money go across there to Southwest or some big lavish dinner that I can't even go to, or meetings that I can't go to. That's BS, So let's just support the man, get together, show your support for Mr. Art Clemens. I'm Tim with Tim T Showcase. It's been a good time talking to you. And Art, I guess I'll be seeing you karaoke, huh?
All right.
All right, my friend. You're here. So we're here at Forest Park. We're here, filming this here. We want it to be a nice, clean day outside, and that's what it is. So, from me to you, take care. We'll see you next time.
All right, thanks, Tim. You did a great interview there.
You made it a lot better than my script, I can tell you that.